I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All 6 of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is a request for Sean. Thank you so much for that. Now, for those who are interested, you can request any type of review, re-review, topic, reaction, pretty much any type of video. You can request it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Again, I apologize for my voice. I'm still dealing with this sickness. Always lasts forever with me. So I apologize for the clearing my throat and coughing and such like that. I do apologize. But yeah, for those interested in requests and stuff, the links are down below in the info box. And this is for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, that came out around, I think, 2019, last year. Now it's from the same director that did that found footage film Troll Hunter, which I reviewed on the channel a few months ago. And it's the big thing is produced by Guillermo del Toro. Now this is based on the book, and the book is more of an anthology, and that's what people thought it would be, an anthology. And to me, it would have worked better as an anthology. But Guillermo del Toro says, when we started talking about this 5 years ago, I had to think about it. Anthology films are always as bad as the worst story in them. They're never as good as the best story. I remember in Pan's Labyrinth, I created a book called The Book of Crossroads. I thought it could be great if we had a book that reads you, and it writes what you're most afraid of. Then the theme became stories we tell each other. I do agree with my friend Michael CP. I think he liked this film a lot more than me, but I do agree with what Mike said in his review. I don't understand the theme became stories we tell each other. I didn't really feel that as a big theme in the film. The book that reads you and writes what you're most afraid of, it does that. But Mike OCP said this in a much nicer way. I'm not going to do that. Guillermo del Toro is full of shit. He's so full of shit, his nickname could be Porta Potty. At least on this statement. As some would say, that's a full of shit statement? Would I call that a full of shit statement? Yes, false. Full of shit syndrome. I'm sorry, Guillermo del Toro. In this case, you have been infected by FOSS. F-O-S-S. Full of shit syndrome. Anthology films are always as bad as the worst and never as good as their best. I guess you never saw, if I learn how to talk, I guess you never saw Creepshow. I guess you never saw Cat's Eye. I guess you never saw Trick or Treat. I mean, Creepshow, no, I'm not a fan of Father's Day, the first story. But you know what makes that film work? The crate. To this day, people talk about the crate from Creepshow. Yeah, Father's Day I think is the weakest, but it's not as bad as his worst story, which in my opinion is Father's Day. No, people love it, and they think of stuff like Jordy Verrill's story, that Stephen King was in, I guess even Creepshow 2, which I like. I'm not a fan of the third story with the hitchhiker. No, a lot of people are. But I like the first two. And you know what people remember the most from Creepshow? They don't remember the worst story, whichever one. Most people say it's the first one with the... I like that story though. This hair's gonna get me paid and laid. I like that story with the wooden Native American killing people in vigilante revenge style. But if people say that's the worst, which I disagree with, when they think of Creepshow 2, they think of the best one. They think of The Raft. So what the fuck is this? What the fuck? If it's a shitty foul, I was gonna say foul footage. If it's a shitty anthology story, of course. But again, I guess he didn't see Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood is a really fucking good anthology film. And you know what? All those films I mentioned, including Creepshow 2, are better than this fucking movie. Just, you know what? At the end of the day, I wasn't really a fan of this fucking film. It's not the worst film ever. It's a good-looking film. When the monsters appear, it looks cool. But you know what? That's really what this film was. I'm waiting for the fucking monsters to appear. Oh, that's a cool monster. Now I'm just waiting for the fucking monsters to appear. Because I can't say I was really that invested in the story. The fact it takes place in the 60s... Honestly, this just could have taken place in today's age. The only reason it takes place in 1968 is once in a while you mention Richard Nixon, and one of the characters you find out is a draft dodger. He's dodging the draft for Vietnam. Other than that, like I said, there's really not much other reason why this takes place in 1968. I don't think if it's trying to utilize the time period of how the country was, I don't think it did it that well. And that, I'm not saying it doesn't look like 1968. I'm saying whatever themes you try and get because of the time period, because of where the country was at that time, I don't think that was really put in too much into the stories, or maybe into the monsters. I thought that would, maybe that'd be a part of the monsters, that they would reflect the times that are coming out. And so, not really. Not fucking really. So, why this takes place in 1968? There's not really a good reason for it. It just is. Just because. The characters... I was indifferent, really, on the characters. I wouldn't say they were bad. I would say I was indifferent. Stella, Audie, Chuck, their three friends in Pennsylvania. They go out trick-or-treating. They wear these costumes. One is a spider, because his mom didn't understand what Spider-Man was. One's a witch and one's a clown. They go trick-or-treating. Bully and his thugs, they play a prank on him. They run away. They hide in this guy's car. The guy's car is Ramon, where you find out he's the draft dodger. And I'm not... To be fair, the kids are not bad actors. But at the same time, can I really say I gave a shit about the kids? Not really either. Like, it was more indifferent. And honestly, it just seemed like Stranger Things is a success, so let's make another fucking thing like Stranger Things. And I know I'm like the last person on planet Earth that has seen fucking Stranger Things. I know. I've seen clips, I've seen pieces. I'm sure it's a decent show. It's almost to a point that I see so many fucking things that get inspired by it that I'm already fucking tired of Stranger Things. I haven't even seen the fucking show. Because so many fucking things get inspired by it. It's just... And I know that's not fair, because hell, there are things back in the day that I enjoyed that dealt with kids interacting with, like, the Monster Squad. So if you want to take the Stranger Things out of the equation, fine. Let's take that, put it in a box, throw it in the river. Okay, no more Stranger Things talk. Let's just talk about it as a film itself. If I compare it to the Monster Squad, those characters were more appealing to me, or more with personality to me, or more with more to their character. Just something about them had a nice it factor. Even the lead kid, Sean, I got more out of than the girl here. Just, you know, Stella, I know she likes to write stories. And something about her mom left her. Audie and Chuck, one's more goofball than the other, but they're buddies of the girl. Ramon, you tell he's got a secret and you because he's a draft dodger. But again, I couldn't really tell you I got invested into the characters. I didn't hate him, I didn't love him. It's just indifferent. I don't know how else to word it. One thing leads to another. The four of them go into this haunted house. They find a book. The girl steals the book. Even though some of them say don't, she does it. So it gets some of her fucking friends later on. Well, I would say killed, but taken. One of the things that annoyed the fuck out of me was the ending, because the ending felt either anticlimactic or sequel bait. Because they want to do more. This film did well at the box office. Cost 28 million, made 60-some million in the US, 100 million worldwide, so there's talks of a sequel. So I'm like, oh, well, that's why they did a sequel bait ending. Okay. When the monsters are on screen, it's cool. Even though the monsters all kind of do the same thing. They walk towards you, and then it seems like they can fucking teleport anywhere, so... Well, that's not true. That's not true, to be fair. Only the pale woman thing, that's the only one that teleported, really. Because the monsters you have are a scarecrow, zombie lady looking for her toe, which I think was the best monster, this one in this red hallway, like a fat, puffy, like if the Marshmallow Man had a mom of our stature, that would be her. That's what she looked like. If the Marshmallow Man, Stay Puft, had a mom that was our size, kind of looked like, that's kind of what it looked like. And I thought she was the most interesting design. For what I understand, that is from the book, because there were illustrations in that book. And granted, part of me, like, she looked goofy, like she looked more funny than scary to me, or more, I don't want to say cute, but she looked, oh, you know, what a sweet, weird fucking thing. But, oh, and then the other monster is, which it seems like an action figure I had long ago where, oh, you know what, pretty much a horror version of a crash test dummy. What I mean by that is, all of his body parts will fall apart, then come back together then, kind of like a crash test dummy. Remember you had those action figures where you put the crash test dummy, all the pieces of the body will explode, and then you put it back together and do it again. So again, when those monsters appeared, it was cool, like the scarecrow. And for a PG-13 rating, I was a bit surprised by this scene. I mean, spoilers, where the scarecrow chases the bully and kills the kid with a pitchfork through the belly and through the bully and goes through the other side. You see the points. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that was surprising. And the kid pukes up hay. Later you find out he's been turned to a scarecrow. Granted, when the CGI enhancements went in, like when he pukes to the camera and you see the CGI straw coming out, it loses its luster. And really, it'd be hard work. Don't have any fucking CGI. Because with the shit going on here, if you do it the right way, you could do it all practical. And when the monsters are more practical, it looks better. But yeah, the scarecrow, then you have the lady, where's my toe? Which, of the monsters, she was the least interesting. I mean, the idea that she's looking for her toe that was in the stew that one of them, the kid put in his mouth, that was more interesting than the monster itself. It was just a zombie lady with some CG enhancements that drags the kid under the bed. And then you realize that you don't read the book reads you. Okay. I did it. You have this one scene where one of the kid's sisters, the anticipation is creepier than the reveal. Because the anticipation, there's this like one hair looking thing out of her cheek and it moves. That was well done. That was effective. But then when all the CGI spiders come out, CG, I mean, I know that would be tough to do with practical. But you know what? Movies ain't easy. Movies are hard. Arachnophobia. Could have done that shit with arachnophobia back in the day. But not here. It'd be tough, but I think it could be done. You'd have like a side of the person and real spiders. Then cut to the actress with makeup effects and actual spiders on her head. That's the thing, like you have a side of real spiders coming out. And then you cut to a makeup effect and her screaming, you have real spiders on her. Like that would have made the scene even more effective than just a bunch of CG shit. Also, some of the decisions the characters make are really stupid. Like, they realize their fears are being made into reality. Which, that's a topic, that's an idea that I've seen done before, and usually I'm for. Because Event Horizon, As Above, So Below. That Event Horizon, others where you take your fears and the fears are made reality. Sphere even did that. So it's nothing new story-wise. And it still made me go, why couldn't it just be an anthology instead of more of a Goosebumps movie thing? But whatever. Just Del Toro doesn't like anthologies. Well, you know what? I think you're full of shit, but to each their own. I mean, Mike OCP said it nicely. I'm not. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck who the person is. Del Toro's made some good stuff. Not all of them have been good. To be fucking honest. I like Hellboy. I like Hellboy 2. Blade 2, I think is the best thing he's done. But you know what? I'm not going to give credit. I don't give a fuck about Pacific Rim. Still don't like Pacific Rim. Mimic, I enjoy. I think that's one of his best films. Not a fan of Pan's Labyrinth. I'm sorry. Never been a fan of Pan's Labyrinth. I know a lot of people liked it. That's cool. I'll stick with Mimic and Blade 2. Or the Hellboy movies. Shape of Water wasn't too bad. Shape of Water wasn't too bad. You don't like Pan's Labyrinth because it won Oscars, whatever. No, it didn't. Shape of Water won more Oscars, and I like Shape of Water more than Pan's Labyrinth, so there you go. And I don't mind Shape of Water. I liked it. So there you go. For people to know, oh, you just hate it because people like it. People like the Shape of Water, I like it, so that drives that fucking theory down the toilet. And we get back to this. Pan's Labyrinth I just found not that exciting. Or not as interesting as people make it out to be. I'm sorry. Just my opinion. But getting back to this, while I talk about the characters, they know now that their fears become reality. So this kid even talks about this red room, this red room, this red room. So then they're going to this hospital to find information, and there is RED. I forget the exact term what it means, but spells out red. And the girl and Ramon, they're especially the girls pushing, come on, come with us. Like, what are you talking about? That's a red room. No, my dreams deal with a red room. And the girl still fucking insists. I'm like, do you not fucking listen to the guy? You took him here and then goes, okay, stay here alone. And I'm like, well, now he's fucking dead. You fucking idiot. Even I could say, without ever seeing this film, oh, he's dead. He's fucked. There's a red room thing nearby. You've left him alone now. Right, he didn't want to come. It's like, How about you have Ramon stay with him and you go off by yourself to find the info? Or, hey, I'll stay with you. Ramon, you go off and find the info. Have one of you stay with him. Red room nearby. You know what's going on. If something's going to happen, this is probably going to be the fucking case. Nope. I could fucking guess it. I'm not even there in the fucking movie. So, of course, the hallways become red. And this pale, fat, non-human lady, which I thought was the best creature in the film. She's the one that teleports. I'm like, well, there's nothing this kid can do. He's fucked. And he gets absorbed. So I guess these kids are not dead. Which I'll get to that. And then the final monster is the cops get the 2 kids, put them in jail. And then Ramon, his fear, something he was told to as a kid. What the fuck was it called? The Jangly Man. Who says this stupid shit like, me tie duty walker. What the fuck does that mean? I thought I was talking about tie-dye shirts. Me tie do the... What the fuck? My tie do... Tie your dick in a knot? What the fuck are you talking about? It sounded silly and goofy as shit when it said it. Me tie duty walker. You need a walker? Or you want to talk to Dud Walker? Go ahead. No one else wants to. What the fuck are you talking about? So, I like the idea of a monster that head, limbs fall apart, then come back together. Again, the CGI enhancement. Like, that's one, the CGI, I'm like, I get why, because that'd be hard to do and practical. But I don't know why you had to say that fucking... I thought that sounded dumb coming from it. And then they escape, they get to the house, and pretty much the ending just felt a bit anticlimactic to me, because it's just the girl's being dragged away because they think her... The whole backstory is this girl named Sarah. She knew that this stuff was being poisoned with mercury. Her family didn't want her to talk, so they put her in an institution and then blamed her for shit. So now, after her death, she wants revenge. And the lead girl's saying, hey, you know what? What happened to you is bullshit. What you doing? That's your own fucking thing. So, it made sense within the story. It's just, I can't help it. It still came off a bit anticlimactic for me. Where, I'll tell your story. And then she's like, okay. She doesn't say that, but she's like, okay. And then they're gone, and Ramon's still gonna go to Vietnam. I mean, he was a draft dodger. Now he's going to Vietnam, and I'm like, great. So he's probably going to die in Vietnam now. That's great. I get the point of the story, that he's not going to be afraid anymore, and he's going... But I'm like, honestly, it would be better if you still don't go to Vietnam and go to Canada. Go to Mexico, I don't know. Yeah, go to Canada. I think that would be more fitting that he goes to Canada. I guess maybe they didn't want him, like, we don't want to support draft dodgers. Well, I bet most people who would disagree. And then the girl rides off with her dad. And then the girl with the spider, she's better. And she tells about how there's gotta be a way to bring these people back. It's in this book. And that's the sequel bait ending. Because she has a book. I think, so wait a minute. Isn't it her fucking fault? Because the ghost, Sarah, isn't it her fucking fault? If it's her fucking fault, because she was doing this shit, she couldn't bring them back? But no, it's whatever's in the book. I thought the whole fucking reason the book was happening was because of Sarah, this girl, this ghost. Now it's not anymore. Now it's specifically whatever's in the book. I'm misconstrued that. I definitely misconstrued that because I thought Sarah dying and her ghost, she was the reason that book was happening in the first place. But no, apparently, even though her spirit is lifted, nope, it's the book itself. I guess in the sequels, more scary stories to tell in the dark, they'll, I don't know, find a way to bring them back, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if they come back or not. Give a fuck. So, 70% Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of people like it. That's cool. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever. I'm just saying it's not really something. I'm sitting there, I'm going, okay, that's cool. It's the 60s, so they're in a drive-in theater watching the original Night of the Living Dead. Takes place in the 60s. Okay, maybe it just did that just to be different. Alright. There's not a whole lot, but okay. I mean, the characters really weren't that interesting to me, so it was just me waiting for the monster to pop up. And other than the stupid CGI enhancements, some of the monsters were cool. I was never scared, I was never creeped out, but maybe I'm not the audience for that because I'm in my fucking 30s. The sequel bait ending was annoying because it's like, okay, so idea of the ending just wasn't that satisfying to me. That is it. It felt a bit anticlimactic, and because they gotta leave room for, I guess, 2 more books or whatever the fuck many there are. With an anthology, maybe the I don't know. They should just gone. I mean, it seemed like they wanted to go R-rated. Why don't you just go for broke with the R-rated if that's the case? You're showing someone get hit with a fucking pitchfork. Might as well go for broke. And not utilize CGI and go for broke with an R rating. Why not? It's like, we want to be R, but we're not. We're PG-13, we'll go this far, but we're not. So it's like, well, which is it, man? Which is it? We're PG-13, but we don't do this. Okay. Then just go with the fucking R rating then. So I would never see the film again. I would just watch, you know, if I want to ever see this film again, I'd go on YouTube, watch the clip with the State Marshmallow Man's mom. In the red hallways. So yeah, if you liked it, that's cool. I've seen much worse, but can't say I'm a big fan of the film either. It was, part of me was like, it's there. Maybe time waster, but then I'm like, nah. Like, would I ever see this film? Nah, not really. It would have been nice to see an anthology film with enough of a budget to get in the theaters. And I mean, there's been some anthology films come out since Trick or Treat, which I really enjoyed. Some better than others. Holidays was really bad. Tales of Halloween, there's some decent stuff in that. So again, there's some better, some worse, but at least with anthologies, okay, if this didn't work, maybe this will work. If this didn't work, maybe this will work. That's the thing with anthologies. If story 1 doesn't work, maybe story 2, maybe story 3, maybe story 4. So at least anthology films can have that benefit. Here, you ever seen Goosebumps or some of those stuff? Okay, that's kind of the story here, but it's a bit darker, a bit more violent, and a little bit more like Stranger Things. So there you go. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.